In Consumer Corner, we take a look at trends creating a buzz online in China. On today's show, we'll see what Chinese internet users have to say about the country's decreasing housing prices. China's housing prices have seen over 15 years of increases. For most Chinese people, investing in China's real estate market, they would never have imagined that buying a house could result in losses. However, that day has finally come. The rapid rise has finally peaked, at least for now. In February of this year, a real estate developer in Hangzhou announced that it would reduce its housing prices by 3,000 yuan per square meter, or about $50 per square foot. That's nearly a 20% price cut from the city's average housing price. Since then, from north to south China, real estate developers in many cities have been announcing price cuts. This has even affected the housing market in China's first-tier cities, such as Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. Although statistical data from the government still shows housing prices increasing in these cities, the increase rate has seen 3 consecutive months of decreases. The trend indicates that housing prices in first-tier cities should peak in the near future. For China's housing speculators, the downtrend of China's real estate market has led them to move their investments to markets overseas rather than domestic ones. All these facts are raising a question. Will the watershed moment for China's real estate market come soon? Before answering this question, let's look at some key variables in the country's real estate market. First is the country's capital support for real estate developers. As Securities Daily reports, the Chinese Premier Li Keqiang spoke at the Boao Forum for Asia last week on the issue. He said that the Chinese government will not provide large-scale economic stimulus plans this time to keep up its GDP growth. Premier Li's announcement has disappointed many businessmen who hope to get rich from the stimulus plan, just like they did before. Apart from that, the decreasing costs of real estate development are another major reason housing prices went down. One other reason is the lack of record-breaking land deals. Since the second half of last year, the emergence of record-breaking land deals has become less frequent. The major reason for this is the local governments have increased their land supply. So the increasing supply of land plots have cooled down the country's land sales market. The decreasing costs have also dragged down housing prices. As finance.sina.com.cn reports, due to the government's restrictive policy on housing markets, real estate developers are not able to get loans from banks easily. China's real estate developers have to borrow usury rates from underground private lenders. The annual interest rates can even reach as high as 30%. However, there are also other financial products used by real estate developers. Rates for those products are better, as they fall below 15%. An end to the housing price increases is actually great news for most Chinese people. Many can barely afford the houses they're living in now, and have very limited disposable incomes. As Securities Times reported, after 15 years of housing price increases, market insiders believe that people who can afford to buy houses already own one. The rest are those that need to save for years to get one. Using the housing price-to-income ratio might be easier for understanding this. The International Monetary Fund uses a city's average house's value to divide the annual income of local residents. This is used to measure if a city has an affordable housing cost. According to the IMF's research, the housing price-to-income ratio in Beijing and Shanghai can reach an astonishing 22-to-1 and 16-to-1 respectively. By comparison, the rate for New York City is only 6-to-1. That is to say that people who live in Beijing and Shanghai have to save their incomes for over 15 years to be able to pay for an apartment. Of course, that would mean they aren't spending a penny of their incomes. Chinese internet users expressed their opinions on Weibo. One wrote, quote,
China's real estate market has distorted development for so many years. It has already sucked up every penny from Chinese people's pockets. The doomsday of China's real estate market will come soon. Li Keqiang has already left. Do people really dare continue in housing speculation?
Another one agreed, quote,
In a normal society, housing is just a daily necessity. When people treat it as an investment, then the country's economic system must have something wrong with it. If you don't understand what I'm saying, please imagine how terrible the situation would be if people started speculating grain prices.
In case you were wondering, grain prices are also subject to speculation, which might come as a surprise to that commenter. But anyways, another Weibo user concluded, quote,
No one can stop the housing price decline trend in China. The game is over now.
Since China adopted aspects of a market-oriented economy, fluctuations in housing prices should be a normal thing. This housing market went on a 15-year run of increases. This is because housing complexes were being built left and right, and millions of citizens were moving into them. As China's megacities continue growing, housing developers have been trying to outpace them. They might have been misled by speculation, without planning for a lack of demand from the middle class.